today. From Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California, this is the National Football League. We'll see Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers taking on Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Philadelphia Eagles. Here's the Australian-born punter Mitch Wishnowsky to get things going. And we are underway from Santa Clara. Boston Scott on the return from his end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Tremendous production in college at two different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. That time on the outside, pretty nice job as a cornerback to shed any would-be blockers and make the tackle.
And think about the praise we're giving him, what his coaches have given, but how about the respect he gets from his teammates to be a complete corner who doesn't just cover receivers, but also tackles ball carriers. The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else, ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Hurts. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
From just shy of midfield, Hurts. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory even if they don't get it, though. Hurts sets up to throw it. Quick slant here to Smith. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. And this one complete to Smith. And down inside the 15 he goes.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is starting.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. On first and 10, it's Sanders. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Flushed out right.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. From the gun, it's Hurts. He will find Smith in the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Eagles drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Right off the bat, they start with a very solid, methodical 10-play drive.
And you know me, I tend to look at things from the defensive side. They're coming off the field gassed right away. We're in the first drive of the game. So it's not just what happened, but think of the emotion you carry into a game. Then double it with getting a 10-play drive put on you and points scored. They're pretty tired right now.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip. A 10-play drive that time. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The 49er offense about to go to work, and it's Jimmy Garoppolo, Charles, at quarterback.
And Jimmy Garoppolo has shown that he can be a Super Bowl quarterback, but his biggest problem, his ability to stay healthy and remain on the field. When able, he's a capable quarterback prone to winning games both in the regular and postseason.
First carry for Raheem Mostert. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Second down, here's Mostert again. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on third down. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3-and-out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Garoppolo going to give to Mostert. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Javon Hargrave there on the stop.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
2nd down. Here's Mostert again. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there, nearly an opening drive, INT.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. There's Garoppolo to throw. Now Garoppolo lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week. He's smiling. Elliott now to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Here's Richie James on the return. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, And a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Here we go, here we go. Black 80! Single slot.
From just shy of midfield, Garoppolo. The same target, same result. It's Kittle. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Garoppolo going to try and throw on 3rd. Completes it to Samuel. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. 45 yards rushing for him now to this point. And you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
2nd down, here's Mostert again. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
To throw again on 2nd down. Garoppolo to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Mohamed Sanu there to make the grab. And the 49ers have cut it back within a score. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Gold with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. On the return, Boston Scott. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Throwing is Hurts. Dancing to his left. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
On 2nd down now, it's Sanders. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Here's Hurts to throw. And that will be incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Going for it with Sanders. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. At first glance, I actually wasn't sure that he got it, but he ended up getting it by about a full yard.
He certainly did, but it took a little effort, didn't it? Took some nice push, a little crease inside, and some determined running to make sure that he got the 1st down.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Here's Sanders. And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block if you're an offensive lineman. Nice early burst. Nice gain, too.
Second down and 3. They'll drop to throw. Out to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. working with a 2nd and 3. They'll look to throw here. He'll buy some time right. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. And the first play will be a field goal try from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by Elliott is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Raheem Mostert and the Niner offense getting the football back. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with a run so far. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Garoppolo now. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a handoff, Sermon. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
A good gain on first has them set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. They go back to the ground, this time Mostert.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Wait, Edie!
On first down, they go with Mostert again. And credit the tackle to Derek Barnett.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Still 9 remaining on 2nd down.
We got to get to the ball, team. We got to get
Draw play, Garoppolo gives to Mostert. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
The Niners on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 7. From midfield, here's Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added on to their lead. But that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game. But we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive. And he's going to profess that he was happy to get points. And we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
9 yards is the pick up there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Hurts a handoff to Sanders.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Working with 2nd and 5 now. Now they'll switch it up here and look. And the Niners get there and bring him down. D. Ford showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, the coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast, too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up 4th down.
Here's Aaron Sipos out now to punt on 4th down. Oh, he's taken down here by his face mask by the looks of it. And a penalty flag is going to give him much better starting position. So tug on the face mask, and that's going to cost him 15 yards.
And sometimes it'll go unnoticed, but that one, pretty obvious for everyone to see.
So the penalty yards marched off on the face mask. Here's 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
On 2nd down, Mostert. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Got his target, Samuel. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. Getting it out left side to Sanu. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
From the 39, Garoppolo getting this out to the flat, Mostert. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get it out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Incomplete.
The frustration evident there because he couldn't find anyone on 3rd down, and he left no doubt that he was throwing that one away.
Would have been a decently long field goal, 51 yards from here, but instead they're going to go for it. They'll try it now with Mostert. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. Kyle Shanahan, an offensive mind, but his guys stopped up short. And the Eagles defense able to hold. So he needed the short yardage, Charles. He elected to try to bounce it outside of the outer 3rd, unsuccessful.
Sometimes those plays are stacked up by the defense and there's nowhere to go, so you have to bounce it outside. And some backs just get impatient. They want to go to where they think there's more open territory instead of going where the play was actually blocked. In any case, it didn't work here.
They go play action with Hurts. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
6 yards left on 2nd down. They'll look to throw. Flush to his right, and he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Looked to me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go. We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 41. They'll set up a throw. Steps away. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down, a nice, consistent gain.
On first down, it's Sanders. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Second and 11. They're going to look to throw. That swung out wide to Sanders. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. That'll be caught. Rager with it. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. The kick by Elliott is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. Here's James. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Deebo Samuel and the 49ers back in possession here. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
We'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
The 49ers moving hastily. They're scurrying to the line. From the 44, Garoppolo. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's third down.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now Garoppolo. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Jalen Hurts in this offense trotting back out. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that play really didn't fool them. They completed the screen pass, but for lost yardage, a really nice play by the defense.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Hurts. He's going to drop this down to Sanders. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. He'll look to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10.
Deebo Samuel and the 49ers back in possession here.
He's probably someone they want to get more involved at this point. Second quarter down on the scoreboard, and you know that he can be a threat.
And because he's such a threat, as well as so productive, I'm with you on this. They've got to get him the ball more, give him more opportunities for them to have a chance to erase that lead.
Certainly they'll be looking to get him even more in the mix this go-around.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Garoppolo looks to throw. This one caught by Kittle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball to the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
And just a yard to go here on 2nd down.
Garoppolo again. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Garoppolo.
He's going to drop this underneath to Mostert. And the 49ers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. Now James returning. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Here we go. Like 20.
A play fake from Mostert. Now Garoppolo. And this one is incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw is Garoppolo. That's complete to Mostert out of the backfield. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
Here we go. 180.
Garoppolo on first down. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. 7 yards, the pickup there.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
180.
From the gun, a run with Mostert. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. That's caught by Ayuk on the slant. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On play action, it's Garoppolo. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll go down at the 28. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Here we go. 180.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. This will be caught at Samuel. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Garoppolo. That's swung out to Mostert. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Here we go.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. That'll be caught by Ayuk. Touchdown, 49ers. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the 49ers are back within a score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Gold to add the extra point. And it's good. The deficit 6, 20-14. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Scott on the return out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the 2nd half. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a 1-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a 1-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the 1st down marker. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Play action. Here's Hurts. Sliding out of the pocket. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Well, they sent him on the blitz from that linebacker spot, and boy, he got there quickly.
He certainly did, and obviously he could have used a block from his running back, but I think you nailed it right there. The defender got into the backfield so fast, it's hard for anyone to react.
They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. They'll roll him out right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. Hurts sets up to throw it. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
Ayuk to return it. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Now it's 2nd and 9. Once again, it's Mostert. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 74 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They'll try and run here with Mostert. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. Eagles set and ready for their next offensive drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Hurts. Catch made by Fulgham. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Running right, here's Sanders. Fights loose. And he's got this down to the 35. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. Johnson with a burst, a first down and more. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This left side caught by Fulgham. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Throwing is Hurts. Touchdown! Dallas Goedert from 8 yards out. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
2nd down, here's Mostert again. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They run out of the shotgun with Mostert. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 90 yards rushing for him now as he's toted it 21 times.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To the right side, this is Sermon. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. They'll swing this out to Mostert. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Jalen Hurts in this offense trotting back out. And the numbers for the last drive, and he was perfect, which maybe isn't surprising because he has not missed a pass in this game yet.
And it lets you know just how precise things have to be for a quarterback to be perfect, because that means the line's blocking really well. No one's dropping any of the passes thrown to them, and the quarterback is accurate. It's almost like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter or a perfect game, isn't it? He's the principal guy, but he needs a lot of help.
Time to find out if he can keep that perfect game going here, partner.
So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. It'll only be a loss of a couple, but the pressure gets home on first down.
Well, it's been a little bit of feast or famine because he's thrown for decent yardage, and obviously they've got the lead, Charles, but now he's been sacked 4 times.
And what I'm focusing on is his toughness in the pocket, because you mentioned the feast or famine part. He's played well in between being dumped on his back, but every time he's had a chance to throw the football, he's been impressive.
Final minute now of the third quarter. Another try after the first down sack. Hurts. And he'll complete this one to Fulgham.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
And this one dropped in the end zone. Looked like a touchdown, but not to be. And now it's 4th down.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. The kick by Elliott is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So 3 field goals that he's hit. Now this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Now Garoppolo lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. Does the big boy have the juice? And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that, and that's what they've done all game long.
Elliott on for the extra point. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. As San Francisco's offense returns to the field. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. They'll get this into the hands of Mostert.
And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
On 2nd and inches, Garoppolo complete to the tight end Kittle over the middle of the field. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Working from the gun, Garoppolo.
They'll find Ayuk open right side.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Let's go, Big Sears right here.
Garoppolo now. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. A gain of 6 there on 1st. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Garoppolo. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Fletcher Cox able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? On play action, they'll throw. That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. Kyle Shanahan's made the decision. They're going on 4th down. On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's that 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
They hand it off to Mostert. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And he picks up the 1st as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. And, oh, boy, something you certainly don't want to see. Deebo Samuel still down. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Here we go.
There's Garoppolo to throw. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Richie James there to make the grab. And the 49ers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Garoppolo looking to throw for it. Complete at the 1. And he is not going to get in here. So the decision to go for 2 does not pay off as they're unable to cut any further into their deficit. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And here's Scott to return it. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Hurts throw here taken in as he's able to find Goddard.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, so much for getting separation. No chance there. Locked down tight, forcing the incompletion on that attempt.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Here's Hurts to throw.
Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
The Eagles on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Hurts. And that's incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. On first down, Garoppolo. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's James. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. Decent start there to the drive. Big hill to climb, needing 2 touchdowns, also a 2-2-point conversion.
So, partner, how do you eat an elephant?
I don't eat an elephant. Who eats elephant?
But if you do it one bite at a time. Okay. That's the way they've got to play this, one play at a time. Yes, there's urgency, but they have to be careful as well.
Let's go with like a 50-ounce ribeye. One bite at a time.
All right, I'm with you.
From the 30 on second down, Garoppolo. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Garoppolo looks to throw. Sanu with a grab over the middle. And he is going to have a 49ers first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders.
And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain.
45 yards on the ground for him so far. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the fourth quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand. They're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
They go play action with Hurts.
And that is incomplete here.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
The Eagles on third down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically. But it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway. And now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the 4th. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
On first down, Hurts.
That is incomplete.
By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary here. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10.
Hurts.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. They'll set up to throw. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Goddard.
And the Eagles are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
Sanders.
And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Defense simply not fooled by the draw there.
Well, they were thinking run to begin with, and what they tell their defensive linemen is play the run on your way to the quarterback. If someone shows, go get him, and that's exactly what they did.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal.
Once again with Sanders.
And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles.
Miles Sanders.
A 5-yard touchdown run.
And the Eagles have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. This one now, Charles, you'd have to think all but over.
I would agree with that because this offensive line, they've been physical from the first snap of the game, and it's taken a toll on this defense. And it was never more evident than on that play right there. They continue to move the line of scrimmage forward, and they open up enough space there to get their guy into the end zone.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had a victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They'll run the draw with Mostert, and he'll be brought down right around the 37.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To throw is Garoppolo. This one caught by Kittle. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. Now Garoppolo. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
They always say that real estate is about location. Well, guess what? When it's a slant route, the quick ones, timing, timing, timing. Got to be able to lead your man with the football.
And the timing off right there, threw it behind him. Second and 10. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. James has got it, complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
Garoppolo on 1st down. He finds his man, complete. It's James. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. 180!
And yet again, it's Garoppolo. Getting this out to the flat, Mostert. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Garoppolo going to give to Mostert. Muscles him off. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Fletcher Cox getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? Now Garoppolo, got to have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Eagles defense able to hold. Now back to work for Miles Sanders in the Philly offense. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Another run here with Sanders. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And it's incomplete. We're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. And we'll get ready for the trek back to the city as we say so long from Santa Clara.
Oh, what a great city it is. We're going to have a blast tonight.